You're not regular black, you're original black. The term black is not to be argued. No offense to immigrants. If you're allying with us, we welcome you. We consider you brothers and sisters if you are on code. If you are on code. What that means, what being on code means as another type of black person, a black immigrant, that means that you do not speak against us in our country, in the land that we build. You do not speak against reparations. You do not get on television talking about them lazy people. They need to get over slavery. That's what's holding them back. Does anybody tell the Jews to get over the Holocaust? Does anybody tell the Armenians to get over the Armenian genocide? No. We are the only people that isn't allowed to have a past, a present, and a future. We are the only people that are told, get over it. You'll just do better. And what that really means is kiss up to the whites. And we're seeing a lot of immigrants come here, and they're coming for comfort. And that's why they get along so well. We can't forget, because we need our reparations. Our generational wealth was stolen. Why would we forget? Why would we forget what happened to our ancestors?
What it do, family? Let me first start by offering my apologies for my absence. A few weeks back, a major piece of my equipment messed up, and since I had a warranty on it, I actually had to send it in to the manufacturer in order to get it replaced. And then last week it came in. However, it came in right in the dead smack in the middle of my finals week. So I decided to put that on the back burner and to finish my finals and then come back at you guys this week. So my humblest apologies, but let's get back to it, okay?
You want to know if you support reparations?
I'm sorry?
You want to know if you support reparations?
I support reparations other than that name. Y'all need to learn what reparations is. Y'all keep talking about a word. It means to repair.
It's cash payments for all.
Hell no. You never get it.
Why not? That's why we need your support. You got a lot of power.
You will never get it.
You have a lot of leverage.
Let me ask you a question.
You get our support. We've been dedicated to you for a very long time.
Will you listen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you are mulatto and you are allowed to get an education, and this person is not allowed to get an education, how will you measure which one to do what?
I was allowed to get an education, but I'm still.
That's not the point. You're talking about the law. You're talking about the law. You're talking about my wife, whose grandfather was white, and therefore her mother could get educated, but her daddy was African and could not get educated. How do you measure that?
But Africans get educated now. You support Africans getting educated right now.
Well, I'm living in Africa.
You living in America.
I know you got more sense than I got. I understand that.
Thank you.
You all heard with your own ears Jim Clyburn saying that reparations, cash payments will never happen. Forget about it. They never happen. This is somebody who's supposed to represent our interest. Our brother who was asking them questions, he said, that's why we need you to support it. You're a very powerful person. And this man said it'll never happen. It'll never happen. I find it interesting that Jim says that he support reparations, but just not in that term. We can't call it reparations. Not under that name. Well, Jim, that's not reparations. If it doesn't come with cash, it's not reparations. And he said we need to learn what reparations mean. It means to repair. As if we don't know how much of our wealth was stolen from us, as if that's not something that needs to be repaired. As if we don't know about all of the land that was taken from us, as if that doesn't need to be repaired. Jim Clyburn tried to talk about some education stuff that applied to his wife. My wife. Her family, her mother and father, one was black, one was white, and one was educated, one wasn't. How do you rid me? First and foremost, everything that he was saying was nonsense. It was literally nonsense. It's babble. It had no merit in a conversation of reparations. It doesn't. And see, Jim Clyburn has a habit of speaking to us as if we're his nephew, we're his nieces. Disrespectful, no type of tact whatsoever. But when he goes and speaks to the Native Americans, I'll get you guys land, no worries. I'll get you guys policy, no worries. Jim Clyburn is one of those people who literally will try to tell you a bunch of, I want to say, babble brooks. Because that's what he do. He'll babble on for about 2-3 hours or so, if you let him, about why we shouldn't get reparations. But then turn right around and say that he supports reparations. He wrote the damn bill for reparations, he said. You know, it's getting more and more apparent. I did a video where I said reparations is the line in the sand. And we're able to see everybody that's for reparations and everybody who's against it. You can't pretend to be for reparations, but don't be for the actual things that will systemically remedy and repair everything that was taken from us, which is cash reparations, which is land, which is policy. But no, if it was up to Jim Clyburn and anybody else within the Democratic Party and Republican Party, reparations would only be schooling, education. Reparations would only be jobs so that you can make more napkin people richer with your labor that they already stole for hundreds of years. So now your reparations is giving your labor to someone else for free. Because nowadays, our dollar ain't worth nothing. And if we ain't getting our reparations, then we're going to be sitting at the bottom of the barrel. Ain't no job going to stop that. We're going to be eliminated, and ain't no job going to be able to stop that. We're going to be removed from our position in these United States, and ain't no job going to be able to stop that. This is a problem. And these people know the problem. These people know the problem. They're just trying to see if we're going to go for the okie doke. If we're going to allow them to continue with the bull stuff and then get them back in the office. See, Jim Clyburn and our brother Marcel, he's mentioned this as of recently. It's come out that Jim Clyburn has been working with Republicans in order to keep his power. So at the end of the day, we know that he don't give a damn about the black community. You can look at his constituents. You can look at the people that lives in the area in which he represents. And you can tell that he don't give a damn about the black community. But this is where we are. We're dealing with people who are trying their best. Trying their best to get us off of our tangible debt that is owed to us. They're trying to get us to trade that tangible for something intangible, non-tangible, so they can go around and say, yeah, you guys got your reparations. The same way they tried to do when they said Obama was black folks' reparations. We have gotten to a point where we're going to either fall over or we're going to stand on our square and force them to do what is absolutely right for us. what is absolutely right for us, what is owed to us. Period, point, and blank. And here's the thing. Gavin Newsom, there were stories coming out talking about how Gavin Newsom would not stand behind cash payments, that the legacy of slavery is much more than cash payments. And our brothers and sisters, they went to that hearing and they let it be known. They let it be known that you are not going to be getting any votes. You cannot expect us to allow ourselves to be played and then give you our vote. So without the reparations, y'all might as well just get ready to pack up your bags and leave, because you won't be getting another term. And I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that from the community, because we're all or nothing at this point, because it's all or nothing against us. When it comes down to our economic ability to survive in this country, it is all or nothing. All or nothing. And one of the greatest things that I loved when I heard my people saying the things that they were saying within that hearing was that we ain't standing by anymore. We're standing up now more than ever. And we got a lot of people, even in our own communities, trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. We have a lot of disruptors coming out, trying their hardest to disrupt our equity, trying to disrupt our ability to survive in this country. The country that we built, the country that wealth was built off the backs of our ancestors. We're at a place right now where you have Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, well, Gavin Newsom running for president is a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. Well, let me tell you something, Arnold, who was a Republican when he ran California. Let me tell you something, Arnold, Mr. No-brainer. If this reparations package isn't signed, if this reparations package isn't passed, it's going to be a brainer. It's going to be a brainer. It's going to make y'all heads hurt, because I guarantee you Gavin Newsom is not getting into that White House without the black community. Period, point, and black. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'd be surprised to see any of the Democrats within the legislature in California get put back into office if it isn't signed. If it isn't signed and sent over to the governor. And if the governor don't sign it, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, this will be his last little term here, buddy. He ain't going to have no aspirations for presidency. We're going to treat Gavin Newsom the same way we did Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Her whole presidential run didn't even get off the ground before we shut that down. Didn't even get off the ground. We have to be careful. We have to be very, very careful. Because we have a lot of people who don't want this to happen. And we have a lot of people that are showing themselves to be disruptors. Such as this situation here. Oh yeah, you know we were going to have to talk about this. Look, I don't care what your feelings is about Tariq Nasheed. I don't care. Because here's the thing. I don't have to like somebody to work with them. I don't have to agree with someone in order to work with them for the betterment of my people. Okay? If they're on the same accord and on the same code as I'm on, we're going to be able to work together and we're going to be able to achieve some stuff. With that being said, I don't care about who feels what against Tariq. This situation should have never taken place. There's a time and a place for everything, and you wait until we're talking about the restoration of our own people to start drama within the whole meeting where we're talking about the restoration of our own people. The restoration. What kind of sense does that make? That shows you a person who is emotionally unintelligent, emotionally ignorant, emotionally stupid. Because there is a time and a place for everything. And that was not the time, nor was it the place. That is disruptor behavior. You could have pulled Tariq to the side and had a conversation with him like a man. You could have, went to his YouTube page and put all the stuff that you felt about him in the comment sections. But the second that you go to a hearing that's supposed to be a benefit to our people to disrupt the whole hearing just because you yourself don't like a person, you are a disruptor and you need to sit your dumb ass down. Period, point in black. Period, point in black. That should have never happened. That should never have taken place. That in itself was a coon move. I don't care how much you don't like the man. As long as that man was standing there speaking for our people, you could have came and gave your opinion in a different manner and it would have been all gravy. But the second that you try to now fight this man, you want to call him an agent and everything else, when you the one that's displaying agent behavior by starting this ruckus, you are the problem. You are the problem. And here's another problem. Oh yeah, this too is disruption behavior. Disruption behavior. And I'm going to explain why. But first, I'm going to let you hear this man. And then I'm going to explain why what he said is disruption behavior. How he acted, what he said, all of it was disruption behavior.
To pay $1.2 million each to every black resident as compensation for slavery and discrimination that occurred over 200 years ago. Critics argue that this is a scheme to ensure lifelong loyalty to the Democrat Party from the black community. Despite the proposal, many black residents are unhappy, demanding higher compensation figures. California is the first state to establish a reparations task force and aims to have the plan approved by lawmakers before July 1st.
You failed us. This is the second time you tried to shut me down with my number in the hand, and it won't happen. You know that the number should be equivalent to what an acre was back then when we were given 40. Okay? When we were given 40 acres, you know what that number is. You keep trying to talk about now, yet you research back to slavery and you say nothing about slavery. Nothing. So the equivocal number from the 1860s for 40 acres today is $200 million for each and every African American. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're just supposed to tell the truth. You're not supposed to be the gatekeepers. You're supposed to say what the people want and hear from the people. So on June 17th, this will not be handed out here. It'll be handed out outside. But on June 17th, we're convening a conference at First AME Church for Juneteenth. We'll be serving barbecue. We'll be having fun. But we're looking for the real solutions. And we want all of you to come and participate for the real solutions. And tell Governor Newsom, we're coming. He knows me.
Thank you, Pastor.
All right, now let me tell you why this is disruptor behavior. Because here's the major thing for me. Okay, first things first. The man comes down sounding like he's drunk. The man comes down sounding like he's drunk, slurring his words. He's standing in front of the panel, slurring his words, sounding like he's drunk. Okay, that's one. Two, this man is doing the same thing that Rev Flip Flop did. And it just so happened that this man is a reverend as well. But he's doing the same thing Rev Flip Flop did. It's not enough. And so it needs to be denied because it's not enough. Not that it's a start and we need to build on what you guys are giving us. But it's not enough. And we need to deny it because it's not enough. How many people in the United States of America could use 1.2 million? How many black people would that benefit 1.2 million per person in California? The point is this. This man is a disruptor because it's either all or nothing when it comes to the payment, the policy, and all of that. But that's not how it works when you're getting certain situations taken care of. Sometimes it may take a piece to bring forth a whole. Sometimes they might only give you a quarter, but then you can protest. You can bring out more reasons why the number should be higher. But this is a major thing for me. He said 200 million. And I'm not taking away from the man because that number is closer to correct than false. However, you're now trying to make one state pay 200 million per person. One state. You're trying to equate 40 acres and a mule to one state. And that's where the problem lies. You're saying shut it down if you're not giving us the 200 million per person when 1.5 million would help a lot of people in that situation, in the situation of being black in California. And yeah, you continue to fight for more. However, it shouldn't be 200 million or nothing. That is disruption talking points. Because it's only disrupting the little bit of good that it could do. Now, I'm not saying that you should be comfortable and just stay comfortable with that number. It's fine. I understand that. We are owed way more. However, there is something called tactic. And you can't sit here and shut down $1.2 million because you want 200 million. So it's either 200 million or zero. Either 200 million or zero. What kind of sense does that make? And again, he's just doing the same thing that Rev Flip Flop Amos Brown did. Where he's talking about, I want 5 million plus, 5 million plus. But then he get on the news and everywhere else talking about it's not feasible. And it's not something that we should be doing. But he damn sure didn't say nothing about those programs that's being put into the NAACP, the $50 million there. He ain't talking about no programs unless those programs are being paid directly to him for his ability to care for the neighborhoods in our communities. Like I said, and the same thing that this pastor did at the end of his time, we're having a rally on Juneteenth so we can get some real remedies. First and foremost, $1.2 million is a remedy. It might not be the remedy you want, but it is a remedy. You going up to $200 million and trying to get the community to go against their own interests and trying to actually build themselves up, because $1.2 million can do a lot to help the black condition per person in California. This is my point. These disruptors may think that they're doing some sort of service to the community, and they're not. These disruptors try to claim that we deserve so much more, which we do. But their claim goes against what we're doing altogether, because they say we deserve so much more, but then they tell you don't accept nothing until we get that so much more. And that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Policy over party. So if they're bringing policy and they're bringing number figures to us, it may not be enough. But guess what? They're bringing it to us. And if they bring it to us and sign it in the office and give it to us, when they sign it in the office, when they give it to us, we can build off of that. And we can continue fighting for what we are deserved, yes. What we are owed, yes. But the very second that you go in there and now take out of somebody else's mouth because you feel you speak for the whole community, you have just committed an act of treason in your community. An act of treason. I want everyone who's listening to understand how important it is to stand on your square when it comes to this. When you hear anybody speaking about reparations in a negative light, it's up to you to either correct them, especially when they're black, or to make them look stupid, especially if they're black. We don't have no time to waste time. And if we don't do this, the numbers say by 2053, black people will be economically extinct in this country. That's a fact. And I was talking to a brother the other day, and he told me just like this. Honestly, I believe it's before that. I believe by 2040 somewhere, we're going to be economically destroyed. So this is up to you. What do you want? Do you want to grow, or do you want to die? Do you want to be here? And when I say you, I'm meaning your children, your lineage, your bloodline. Do you want that to maintain? Or do you want it eliminated? Those are your choices. And what you do to fight for the birthright of your lineage is also your choice. The doors of the church are now closed. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you think about all these folks coming out speaking about reparations. Tell me what you think about all these little folks that think that they can just go and disrupt things. Be the disruptors that they're being paid to be. Even if they're not being paid, there's a lot of people disrupting for free. Let me know what you think about the situation at the hearing with Tyreek and the dude that tried to attack him. Tell me, do you think that that's okay? Is that proper code of conduct for the black community to be acting? Should we be moving in such a way when we're talking about bettering our communities? Love, peace, and chicken grease. Everybody be safe.